turn off the noise, and to really just, the greatest team builder is care. It's caring about each other. It's caring about winning. It's caring about team. And obviously I think our ability over the course of the last couple of days and during this tough stretch is, are just the way people care about in this program gave us the strength to get out here and to play a really, really good game. So, big win.
Dan, you fell behind 11-2 in that game, and I think three-pointers helped you come back. So just talk about your three-point offense, and you had a season-high 11 today.
Yeah, we got good threes. We tend to get good threes, minus the end of shot clock ones that that will occasionally get bogged down. But RJ got some real good looks. Tyler got a couple of decent looks. And then Isaiah Isaiah was tremendous today. That was the Isaiah that's that we need.
And the two guys that play with bad ankles both came up big. You mentioned Isaiah, but Tyrese also came up big and maybe not 100% today.
No, definitely not 100%. Neither was Isaiah, but man, what soldiers! And that's what you're supposed to do as an athlete. You're supposed to sacrifice for your team, and if you give us 80%, get out there and give us 80%. If you give us 70, give us 70. That's what Warriors do. They get out there and give you what they got.
A little off-topic stuff, Dan. RJ just told us something about you did something to pump the team up, had to do with drinking through a straw. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, well, did a lot of thinking, and I think as a coach sometimes I don't give enough examples of former players that I've coached that were heart and soul players and players I'll never forget as a coach. And Jarvis Garrett, who played for me, at Rhode Island, played half a season with the Friday the 13th hockey concoction. Got 3 teeth knocked out against St. Joe's and a fractured upper jaw, and tried to play the next game. We couldn't build the mask in time, but ends up playing the rest of the season in one of the most gruesome, strange masks you've ever seen. He couldn't take it off the whole game because it was so cumbersome, and he'd have to drink through a straw in one of the holes that he would breathe through during timeouts. So, and then he also played with ulcers. His junior year, lost 15 pounds, didn't tell any of the team doctors, almost literally played himself to death. So just wanted to talk to the players about what needs to be sacrificed. You don't necessarily have to play yourself to death, but I tried to give him an example of somebody that a coach will never forget, or his teammates will never forget, people like Jarvis Garrett.
Dom?
Yeah, Dan, I know you had mentioned about wanting to send RJ a message, by starting Gaffney. I'm just wondering what you've seen in him, particularly today, that you were looking for prior to this.
Yeah, just more of those types of performances that, that type of a game. Him to be that dialed in, for the full game. He's had really good halves, and I grabbed him on the way out because he had a great first half. He had 12 and 5 and no turnovers. And then he hasn't given us that second half in games that could put us over the top. And, if you're going to win, you need guys in a league like this. You need to have guys that have those types of performances. And, that's why we've struggled so much since Book has been out, because we haven't had those types of performances. That's what wins games. Coaches, what we do is overrated. It's having players like that can perform like that.
Joe Zone?
Yes, Dan, from where I was sitting a long way away, obviously, you look like two things today: energy and a sense of purpose. And you've been talking about that all season. What what changed today? It looked like both of those things were really big for you.
The players met as a group 2 nights ago, and they were able to, I think, not vent, but talk to each other about how they're feeling and about how their season and just different things, and I think it's just collectively, we've dealt with a lot. I mean, nobody wants to hear it because they're excuses. They're not excuses. There are reasons why we're in this position, and there's multiple, and I'm not going to go through them. And I think that wore on us a little bit, and it has worn on us. And, I just think that there's been a good emotional tone, really since the guys came into the building yesterday, where I knew, I didn't know if we were going to win today, but I knew that I wasn't going to feel as bad as I felt after the Providence loss.
Devin?
Dan, when it was tied at 49, Tyrese grabs that rebound in traffic and scores and hits a foul shot. Is that the kind of determined effort you need at that point that maybe you haven't gotten in the last couple games?
Yeah, it's a winning play. Tyrese was back on the backboard again today. We challenged Isaiah and Tyrese to get back on the glass, and because that's what's kind of put us in the position we were up until about 10 or 12 days ago, 2 weeks ago. We were one of the darlings of college basketball, and to get back to play in a way that we could all feel good about. Those guys can't get on the glass, and my programs are built on rugged, tough-ass dudes that refuse to lose and will rip the ball out of someone else's hands and finish in traffic. And, we've obviously got to continue to develop that mentality. But yeah, I mean, that's when you play with that type of force, you got a great chance to win.
Sean McFarland?
Dan, Cook played pretty well today in the minutes he got. But, after he hit that first three in the first half, he just looked happy. He was smiling, looked like he's having fun out there. Just for a guy who's endured a lot over this past year, how nice was it to see not just him play well, but also just he look happy out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably an underrated, reason for the success today was, when he went in the game, things weren't going great. And, his energy last year, fans could sense it. Obviously, we fed off him as a team, just the joy he plays with. And, that's probably one of the top 3 to 5 reasons why we won the game. Just that infusion of energy that he gave, how excited our team got to see somebody that's been through so much get in there and have some success. But he's shown some signs the last 3 or 4 practices that he looked much more playable than he did in his initial, runs.
Dan Barletta?
Yeah, Dan, you said pretty consistently during this stretch without James that you kind of had to keep it under 70 to have a chance to win. Obviously, today's game got into the 70s. You scored 80. What happened today that you guys were able to win a game that was more high scoring?
I mean, we made shots. And the ball was moving. We had 28 field goals, 21 assists. Halftime, we were 12 assists. We just had a better flow. The ball moved. You guys like the rims here. But in the end, we made shots. And when you're making shots, you tend to go faster and shoot earlier in the clock. When no one's making shots, it starts to turn into a rock fight. So we had good pace today, and and we did it. We did enough in just flowing in transition that we didn't have to run a lot of sets.
Dave?
Obviously, Fremantle got his points, but to hold Scruggs to 3 for 10 shooting, and what was the key to that? You got 12 assists, but the key to kind of containing Scruggs today.
Yeah, I mean, he was, he's the guy for them. He's the, he's the engine. He's the alpha. Although Fremantle's Fremantle's pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, we wanted obviously to try to do as good a job as we could, taking away Nate Johnson and Kunkel because they're a pretty good 3-point shooting team, and obviously the focal point with Scruggs, and it seemed like Fremantle was either making a tough shot in the paint, or Isaiah was contesting it. It seemed like either made it or Isaiah blocked it. But that kid is, man, that kid's good.
Bill Paxton.
Hey, Dan, you guys have struggled at the foul line a little bit this season, particularly in crunch time. I mean, today I think you guys are 5 of 6 to finish the game, 4 straight. I mean, is that just a matter of guys working a lot in the gym or just stepping up at crunch time, or were you nervous until the very end at the foul line?
I was nervous to the very end, because we threw in some front ends there that we missed, and it was, it was getting a little bit crazy, out there because the guys that were available to us. I mean, Tyler was probably the guy that we had the most confidence in at the line, but Tyler tends to really struggle to get separation, to get open, especially, and then he's not a great handler versus pressure, so they kind of overwhelmed him. We missed a couple front ends, and but when they cut it to 4, and we had to make some big ones to end it, we were able to do it. So, that's definitely a confidence builder.
Thanks.
Yeah, Dan, just back on a Cook. How close were you earlier in the season to maybe shutting him down and deciding that it wasn't going to happen for him this year? And if he can't maybe move around and do the things on both ends that you're used to, is today maybe what his niche could be, as somebody who could maybe give you a little spark and maybe catch and shoot a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's important that Cook that now he's healthy enough to be able to get minutes. Obviously, for the future of what we're building. He's an important guy, obviously a core guy. So it's we want to get him minutes, but he's not where he's going to be next season. No one is 12 months in with this injury. So, yeah, I mean, he's got to come in and on a game-by-game basis. I mean, some games are going to be like today for him. First half, he played 9 minutes, close to 9 minutes. And in the second half, he couldn't quite get it going. So we only got him 2. He's going to have to be, he wants to be out there all the time. It's crushing for him that he's not playing 30 minutes. I think his spirits are lifted that he got time today. We need a Cook to be patient because obviously, with Isaiah, moving on, at the end of this year as a senior, we need a Cook back next year. And he can help us this year.
2 more quick ones. Gavin?
Dan, how important was this win as far as a resume builder? Obviously, with the, only a few more weeks left in the season, getting a win over Xavier, a team that's probably going to go to the NCAA tournament. How important is it?
I just think it was, bracketology, doesn't, no one's really paying attention to that. For us right now, we're just obviously dealing with a number of issues. It was just to come out here, and perform today in a way that we could all feel good about ourselves. It's just, I think that was the critical thing. Obviously going on the road without Book, and some guys banged up and winning, obviously, when we're fully formed, we're probably a really, really good team. So, when the band is fully back together again, hopefully we'll be able to prove that.
Last one, Dave.
Yeah, when did you, Dan? When did you kind of know Tyrese was going to be good to go? Did you have to see him to prove anything to you this morning, or when did you kind of know he was going to be ready to play today?
Yeah, I mean, I usually hide in the locker room before the game. I'm usually in the locker room in a fetal position, just saving my energy before I've got to go out there and do what we do here. So I never go out there, but I just personally went out there and watched him warm up for 10 to 12 minutes, tried to see how he was moving, asked him what I thought he could give me and give us. And, I just think that, he felt 85%. So let's go. Let's go. Be a warrior. Be a soldier. Get out there. Give us what you can give us.